A helpful hint that I like to emphasize to my swimmers is breathing quick air, not slow air. Now, what's the difference between quick air and slow air? Like we said before, breathing slows you down, so you want to do it as smoothly as possible. And the quick air is actually hugging within about an inch to the surface of the water. The slow air is all of the air that's above that. A lot of times the younger developing swimmer likes to turn their head really big in order to catch a breath. Now that motion in and of itself actually disrupts the stroke even more and makes it harder to get back into form after you take a breath. So you really want to have a slight motion with your head. And here's a little trick to it. As you're swimming, the water level may be here, but as you're moving forward, the water actually bends around your head. It's actually lower. It makes a cusp at the bottom down here. So the quick air that you want to breathe is actually much lower than you think that it might be. You don't have to turn your head that drastically to actually catch a full breath of air. A lot of times with the more advanced swimmers, they'll only expose half or a quarter of their mouth to take a full breath, and they have very little head motion. You may not even be able to tell when they take a breath because they just barely have a slight turn to their head, and they know that that cusp is there, so they're just catching that with the side of their mouth. So keep that in mind. Breathe quick air, not slow air, because slow air is, hey, it's going to slow you down. Make sure you take full breaths. That is taking a full breath in and being able to exhale all of your air in between. What you want to do is when it's time to take your next breath, you want to make sure that all you're doing is breathing in. What you don't want to do, you see this a lot, especially with developing swimmers, is you don't want to have to breathe out when you turn your head to take the breath and breathe in the same motion. That makes an elongated breath. It slows the stroke down even more because breathing slows the stroke down, and it really causes a problem within the stroke. So keep that in mind. You want to be able to take full breaths, deep breaths in, and be able to exhale when your head is in the water, full breath out. Okay, so keep that in mind. Full breaths in, full breaths out. All right, now this is one of the most important things with breathing. You need to make sure you develop a nice pattern with breathing, meaning you need to do it at a consistent rate, whatever you choose. If you're gonna breathe, let's talk about freestyle. If you're gonna breathe every stroke, make sure you breathe every stroke. If you're gonna breathe every other stroke or every third stroke, whatever your coach has you doing at the time, make sure you're consistent, because your lungs will be much more efficient if you're good to them. If you have a set pattern of breathing out and breathing in at a consistent rate, they're gonna give you much more bang for their buck. If you confuse them by breathing every stroke, then every third stroke, and then 2 strokes, then you go 5 strokes without breathing, if you mix it up and if you confuse your lungs as far as their breathing pattern, then they're going to wear out on you a lot more quickly and they're going to be less efficient. So in breathing, whatever pattern your coach has you doing, stay with it and make sure that it's consistent. If you're good to your lungs, they'll be good to you. All right, guys, wanted to add one little extra point of emphasis onto the end of the breathing section. Once you get the skills down and you become comfortable with breathing as far as freestyle, the actual head motion, there's not a real head motion that occurs. You actually allow your head to move with the natural body rotation of your body, and it's not a distinct, separate head turn that occurs. So once you get the skills down, the way that I approached it in the videos was really controlling the massive head turn that a lot of developing swimmers like to have. But once you become comfortable with breathing, then there's really not a head turn at all. You really just allow your head to rotate with your body while you're swimming the stroke in a slight manner. You don't want to have a big turn on that either. So that's the next skill. Once you become comfortable with breathing, try not to have any kind of head motion. Just allow your head to actually roll with your body in order to take the breath. All right, so I hope you guys are doing well at this point, and good luck.